Welcome back to the Speakeasy Law Podcast and part 2 in this series.
All right, let's get to your list. I know I'm yakking over here. Sorry about that.
No problem. These are in no particular order. I just wrote these down.
Let's hit them.
One of the main things this is talking to people that are thinking about buying a home, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
the one thing I would say is they need to, if it's in their future,
yes,
like hey, I have 8 months left on my rental lease.
Right. Start looking now.
Yeah, you start applying now. So apply today.
Yes.
So apply for your mortgage today, even if it's going to be, I won't be able to buy a house. My lease is not until July.
Okay.
You apply today, and the reason is because you want to flush out any kind of problems you have.
You might have. Okay.
Yeah. Let us look at, or let that local lender look at. We'll talk about local lenders in a second.
Yes.
But let them review your credit. Let them see your income, assets, talk cash to close, everything else. And then all of a sudden you may now know, I'm good to go as long as I maintain up until my lease is up.
And then, I'm sorry to interrupt, they got to keep maintaining documents like income information, showing that they're continually employed and it's getting good, that they haven't been fired or something like that.
But they won't have to send us the information or anything.
But they just need to keep it just in case.
They need to be aware, just keep your pay stubs, keep your bank statements.
Okay.
Don't open new accounts, don't quit your job, things like that, which you'd be blown away when people do. Once
I understand.
They're under contract.
Yeah, I understand.
But that would be the biggest thing, because the reverse of it is you apply today and your lease is up in July. I was using that example.
Yeah.
And your credit score is not good enough. Well, now we got time to help you fix it.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll be able to go over a consultation with you. Hey, if you pay down Sears to $200, if you pay Sears.
You're telling your age. Sears?
I see it all the time.
Sears?
Sears is still, the card.
Wow.
It wasn't.
I thought you were joking. Sears?
I'm like, you're paying off Montgomery
Casey wasn't even
Ward?
born when Sears is in business.
The weirdest one we see
Paying off Montgomery Ward?
The weirdest one we see is
Victoria's Secret, baby.
Yep, that is. That's the one we see every time. I'm like, damn.
Before we go to a funny story, I was in our Port Charlotte office one day, right?
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm looking through a client's file, and the client was there, and she was in like her 70s. And I noticed she's got a $5,000 Victoria's Secret bill. So I said to our office staff up in Port Charlotte, I'm like, I was driving up here, and I noticed you had that men's and women's place, and they said, oh, yeah.
Oh, on 41?
Yeah, you seen it in Port Charlotte?
Every time I drive by, I'm like, God, dog.
And I said to him, that place...
It's right there. The kids look at it.
But it's in Port Charlotte. It's like, everybody there is like 78.
The most random place, yeah.
It is in the middle of nowhere.
And they're like, oh, yeah, all of our clients have an account there. And I'm like, oh, my God.
So they see it on the bank statements,
Yeah. And the credit card statements and the Victoria's Secret thing. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. You don't hear some of the stories coming out of the villages and stuff?
No, I don't. Let's not go there.
There's another podcast for you.
Let's not go there. Yeah, whoa.
All right. So the picture I had interrupted with is actually a new construction home that James just posted.
Yeah,
It was CO'd.
Right.
CO'd him. Yeah.
And the trusses are completely broken.
Completely broken. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So yeah, your great advice, Tim, that even if you have a new home, brand new built, get it home inspected before you move in.
Yeah. Well, but back to that applying thing with the credit is we have programs in place, and this is going to be important for people, so listen up. We'll allow them when we pull the credit, it will tell us immediately what that person can do to improve their credit score. And so it may be like I was telling you, pay down a couple credit cards or whatever, and we can improve your credit score that much. Or it may take longer, and what we will do is you'll save yourself from doing it. Well, if I'm going to buy in July, let me get it pre-approved in April. Well, now April comes, or May, or whenever you do it, and you pull it, you're like, hey, we can't help you now, but you got to do this, and this. Oh, God. Now it's like pedal to the metal, stress. Yeah, and you got to work all this stuff out.
Yeah, it's too stressful.
Flush it all out now, and then...
So contact a mortgage broker as soon as you're considering buying, even if it's not going to be for a while out, just
even if
so
it's
they
a year
can
out?
give...
Yeah, I would.
Even if it's a year out.
Well,
but
especially if you think you may have issues.
Okay.
Especially if you think especially credit.
Yeah.
Especially credit, or hey, I've only been commissioned for a year and 2 months, or because commission income, bonus income, all that
self-employed.
Self-employed big time. So the two biggest things that we see is credit and income are usually the deal killers. But if they want to save money for a down payment and they need to know how much money they have to save,
yes, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's good to know as well.
And again, if they get a gift how that plays into it. If somebody gives them like $5,000 to put down, they're going to need a gift letter. They're going to need whatever you need for them. So that's good to know, because ultimately by having that way, I see a lot of people all the time. They call me and say, "Oh, I need this from you. My mortgage broker needs it. We're closing in 5 days."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
I like the ones that are closing tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I usually get that call. It happens. It does. No, seriously, it
No, I
happens.
know. That's what a lot of people say, though.
No, it's usually the mortgage broker called me. I had one in Naples. Who was it? The attorney called me. And it's like, "Well, this deal's never going to get through by Friday." It was like a Tuesday. I was like, "What, are you kidding me? We can get this done." And we pulled that one off for him, and it was the coup of the century. Had 3 attorneys who didn't know what to do. 3 attorneys. And I'm like, "Are you guys knuckleheads or what? We got this. Boom, 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 boom." And I'm like, "Oh, no, you're never going to get that done." It got done.
Nice.
My clients were very happy, and they're like, "You the man." And I was like, "Yes, I am." Me, the Mr. Introvert.
So modest.
You know
It's not
I
about the
am.
modesty. It's just like, I don't like when people tell me I can't do
Right.
something. And especially the attorneys. I'm like, all you guys are getting paid, and I'm doing this as a favor to my client. Freaking work. Get off your butts and do something.
Yeah.
Help these people. Don't say, "Oh, well,
That drives Carmen
It drives me
insane.
insane.
You did, like, in spite of them.
A lot of things light a fire under my butt. But when somebody does something like that, it's like, it's not about you. It's about the client. Let's help them get their home. I want to do whatever I can to help my clients get what they want, and they've worked so hard for. I mean, it's ridiculous to say, "Oh, we can't get this done. It'll never happen." The email chain was like this. And one person, I wrote back, and I was a little bit of a jerk, I'm not going to lie. I wrote back and said, "I told you we'd get it done." And not even the
He's
realtors.
like, "In your face?"
The realtors, exactly. The realtors who made the commission, the attorneys who all got paid, not one of them sent me a thank you. And I don't want to even hear it. I just want to know if somebody was nice enough to say thank you. And one paralegal did from one of the law firms said, "Mr. Dellutri, I just want to say thank you." Thank you to you, young lady. Good for you. It just showed me where the cream rose to the top. And all the other clowns, if they ever ask me for a favor again, I'm going to say, "Yeah, I don't think we can get that done. I don't think we can get that done."
If it's for one of his clients,
Of
he's going
course,
to do it
then I'm gonna
anyway.
move, then I'm going to move heaven on earth to make it
Right.
happen.
He's going to do it anyway.
So anyway, I interrupted. Back to number 2.
Well, but you brought up
Wait.
a good point with gifts.
Yes.
Just so people know, a lot of people don't know this. Little nugget, listen up, is that the employer can gift them the money for a down payment.
That's good to know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Then it has to come from it usually has to come from a family member, but you can't do an employer gift.
If it's an employer gift, does the employer have to withhold taxes on it as
No.
like income?
Nope, it's supposed to be a gift.
There's
It's a gift.
such a thing as
Yeah.
an employer gift.
Yep, I know.
I've
Sorry,
never heard of that
I
before.
brought
Where
that
were
up.
you
So,
when I was buying my house?
I never heard of it before.
if anyone works at Dellutri is listening to this and you do not own a home, hit Carmen up for a gift.
I was wondering though if it's got to be taxable, because I can't give out a bonus without taxing it.
Yeah.
And I feel like such a jerk. I feel like such a Grinch. And it's like, "Hey, good work. Here's a bonus," and you get whacked on the hand saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You got to pay tax on that money."
Let me go full disclaimer here. Consult with your CPA.
It's my wife. Yo.
You definitely need to consult.
Yeah.
100%. But I didn't realize that employer tax was an actual thing.
Employer
The gift?
bonus or the
Oh,
gift?
The gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Employer gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It helps. Right?
Oh, it definitely helps.
Yeah, it helps. It's a bonus for
Now,
the employer.
when do you see that being used the most? Is that like people who are relocating here, so then like an employer might give a gift then?
No, a lot of times it's a smaller, mom and pop type business, and like they know the guy's been with them forever, is trying to buy a home.
Got it. I went completely opposite. I thought like big company relocating.
No,
Okay.
that would be actually probably never happen. It'd be like a smaller mom and pop.
So, for example, if I work for Morgan & Morgan and I wanted to buy a house on Sanibel for $5 million, I just call John and say, "Look, I need a gift
Yeah, I'm
for
sure
like
you do
$3
that.
million,
Yeah.
maybe,
Right.
maybe 4.5.
Yeah. You know, a nice
It's required for the down payment.
$500,000 mortgage
It's required
is fine.
for the down payment.
Yeah. Hey, I need $3 million.
I'm
My
just throwing
lender
it out
needs
there for all the Morgan & Morgan listeners.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
Maybe they're.
So now you meant something and I want to pop back to it. It just popped into my brain. That's how I work. Local lenders. Why local lenders?
Yeah, there's a.
I heard about Rocket Mortgage. Aren't
Yeah.
they the best?
Who hasn't?
Quicken.
Quicken.
They're
I
gone.
love Dog and Quicken. There's a lot of things that go into play, and let's probably spend a couple minutes on this
Please,
one. But
please.
There's a lot of dynamics, honestly. One is with a local lender, we're available, and we're here locally in the market. And when you have these big box banks, and remove Quicken from that for a second, but like I'm talking about, can we name them?
Anybody you want.
Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase.
Suit them all.
You're like, please name them.
Name them. I don't care.
Throw it out there.
Those big banks, it's like dealing with government. You know, like you're calling an 800 number when you need something. Your paperwork gets lost all the time. There's no one accountable to you, and they're super slow.
Yep.
They take forever to close. And the problem with that is sellers know this. The realtors know this. So when you're out there in a competitive market and you lay, 5 pre-approvals on the table to this seller, 2 of them are Bank of America, and all the prices of this, the similar offers, the Bank of America ones are going to get tossed to the side.
Wow.
They're going to say no way.
It's funny because our realtor, Jenny Busick, who was on our podcast a while ago, said the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's why it's stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that because you see the advertisement. It's kind of like attorneys. You know what I mean? You can hire an out-of-town attorney who has an office in Fort Myers or Port Charlotte or Naples. Oh, yeah, we're going to be there for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's the same thing. You have to call the number. You get shoved off. People get pissed. And I think people really like our firm because they can walk in the door at any time they want and say, hey, I need to speak to my attorney. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to speak to their attorney, get an answer, and go home.
Right.
That's the feedback I get. And again, I don't know why people hire mega firms. I don't know why people hire anybody like that. And that just puts another slice in the pie when it says, boom, use local people, use local banks, and they know the market. They know what they need to do to get the loan approved. They know how to help you, and they're going to get it done.
Yep.
Because you live in the same community.
Absolutely, and that's what we talk about a lot. Is like this is the smallest large town, and I know there's plenty of places like
the smallest largest town is the perfect way to describe Southwest Florida.
Correct, and I know there's plenty of places like this out there, but like you blow a deal in our business. Like once, okay, you made a mistake. Twice, all right.
Ripple effect.
3, 4, 5, 6 times, you are getting blackballed.
You need to move to California.
Yeah, you need to go work for Rocket. Like you're done. And so, but that's one thing that happens though is you get when those sellers see the offer and it's not a local lender or it's an out-of-state one. It's not even about being a big box bank. It could be someone small in another state. They're freaky about that too.
So if I'm from New York, I want to buy a house down here, I get approved by my local lender at Westchester National Bank. And then a seller sees it and they're like, oh, wait a minute. I got somebody local who's buying. And the realtor's really the one who's going to advise them which one to take.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And the issue we always have talking to borrowers, it's a kind of tough spot. Is like we try to explain all this stuff to them about the big box banks and Rocket and Quicken. That's all included in there too. The big issue with Quicken is it's all online approvals. And so, they spit out a pre-approval, but like, for example, just today, we had someone that got pre-approved, already.
Yep.
I saw this post.
Company. You did? Look at you, you're on top of it.
She's good.
Yeah, she is. And so anyways, but what happened is they got pre-approved. We got the file. It's not even remotely close to a deal. The person works for DoorDash, does DoorDash on the side, right? Cool, you're hustling. But is new at it, and they gave her $6,000 a year in income for that.
Okay.
And in reality, this girl took like a $15,000 loss over the year. She wrote off like everything she possibly could.
Oh, so like mileage, everything.
Yeah, and once this lender sees the tax returns, it's toast.
It's toast.
It's done. Yeah, and the realtor wasted time, the buyer, everyone wasted time, and so
that would piss me off.
Right.
Yeah. And mistakes happen. But
you see a lot more on that big box store end.
And they're just churning them out.
Yeah.
Churning them out.
Well, I saw that post because I was actually scrolling through your Facebook just now because I wanted to find some of your hilarious posts where you're actually dogging Quicken. I couldn't find any, though.
I haven't dogged on them in about a month.
I know. Yeah. It's been a while. I went through, I think, all of November.
I got to watch my jokes sometimes because I can really run them into the ground real quick, and then I got to revisit them every few months.
I'd say, all right, we got.
Like all the time.
They're not so bad.
I always say, like, have a rate week, have a rate day, and like, some people laugh at it. And
favorite pun.
Yeah, that could have been included, yeah. I got to look at it. You want to keep going?
Yes, number 3.
Down payment.
Big idea.
The down
They should be writing these down, shouldn't they?
Yes, they should. Yeah, have a notepad out. Open up your notes app on your phone.
Put down the popcorn.
Not if you're driving.
Not if you're driving. Put down the popcorn and start taking notes. This is good stuff here.
You don't need 20% to put down on a home.
I understand that.
And that's one thing we get a lot. Like, I don't have my 20% down. I
think that is a huge common misconception, is that you need 20% down.
I am going to ask you about mortgage insurance later.
Okay.
Where did the 20% come from?
What do you mean?
Why does everybody think they need 20% down? Where did that come from?
Well, because a lot of it has to do with, so you have like different loan types, like a conventional loan, FHA loan, a VA loan, right? So a conventional loan, the best rates, and Carmen mentioned mortgage insurance, not having mortgage insurance is at the 20% down mark. That's kind of where it's like the lender has enough equity in there where they feel safe about the loan, that they have enough equity in there in case, God forbid, it's a foreclosure.
Sure.
Which, by the way, everyone thinks like banks want to foreclose. They don't. But
I agree with you 100%.
I hear that a lot. But that's the main reason why they say 20% down, because like that's kind of
the standard of where.
The spot. That's where you want to be. But in reality, you don't need 20% down. You can do a conventional loan and go to 3% down. 3%, 5%, every 5% basically. You have FHA loans, which is 3.5% down. Right. VA is 100% financing. USDA loan, it's 100% financing. It's area specific, but it's 100% financing. So there are lower down payment options out there. And for anyone listening, also.
But Tim, if I want to buy a $10 million house, I still need $333,000 to put down.
You got to ask for Morgan and Morgan.
I got to ask my wife
for the gift.
After my wife for the gift.
Yeah. Now,
remind me to tell you the story of the lady in Naples, and I'll tell you that story.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
After we're all done, you'll get it. She was a product of the what do you call foreclosure problem, and then I'll tell you a great story afterwards. But anyway, number 3 was down payment. So the bigger the better. You get the best rate.
Yeah, your rate gets better. Basically, almost about, like, for example, if you, I didn't write my notes about rates. Let's talk about rates real quick.
Okay.
What goes into it? Okay, property type. Is this single-family home? Because single-family homes get better rates than a condo.
Okay.
That gets better rates than a manufactured home.
Okay.
That gets better rates than a duplex. Okay.
Duplexes on the ladder get lower than a mobile home?
It can depend.
Okay.
Manufactured homes, you got to be careful of these. There are some nice ones out there. We can finance those. Built after 1976, you got to own the land, and it's got to be double wide. And there's a big market out there for
single wides seem to fly away in hurricanes. Kind of like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz.
Single wides are not wanted out there in the living market. Good luck with that one, single wides. But they're a viable product out there, especially in this market where everything's expensive. And out where you live, manufactured homes, on an acre or two, they're affordable. And we can do loans on them.
Do you have any log cabins you've sold?
I've done one or two, and what the big thing is with log cabins is you got to have like property somewhere around it for a comparable.
Okay.
Like you can't have like a log cabin right there in South Cape on.
South Cape Yacht Club. There's nothing in Coral either.
Yacht Club.
Okay. Just threw that out there. I didn't know where to go with it.
Comparable sales is what you got to have.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
But I've always believed, like in today's day, a lot of people who may have gone into a mortgage 3 years ago and had to get the mortgage insurance, should they get an updated appraisal now and get rid of the mortgage insurance?
Yeah, so there's a couple. If someone has mortgage insurance, and just for anyone listening to this, like you mentioned about 20% down, like if you do a conventional loan and you've done less than 20% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance on that loan, and that can be removed depending on what the terms were for the mortgage. And most of it has to be 22% equity into that home, and that can be either you paying it down, is normally how they want it to go, or you can request it to be removed. They may do it right online right now with an online valuation.
Okay. Or
they may require an appraisal to be done.
Are they using Zillow on the online investigation?
No.
What do they have? They do it.
They just have their own. They have their own valuations.
Software.
Yeah, that tie into all the MLSs and everything else.
Yeah, I've seen a level of sophistication that has come to everybody in the last 5 years when it comes to online products, especially like cars. With a car that's been in a total situation. They Allstate, State Farm, they all have their own specific proprietary software.
Yeah.
But they don't want to tell us how it works or how they come up with these numbers, but they all have them. So I could see the mortgage companies saying, hey, but Zillow says my house is worth this.
Yeah. Zillow said we're gonna talk about Credit Karma, which is like the Zillow
for mortgage brokers.
Yeah, basically.
Hey, we all have our demons we got to face every day, right?
But the other issue though is if it's an FHA loan,
right,
which has mortgage insurance as well, called PMI,
yes,
private mortgage insurance, that can't be removed until you refinance it.
So you're better off on an FHA loan to refinance and get it away from the FHA and to a private.
Maybe it depends on the rates.
Depends on the rates.
It just all depends on the total scenario. You may have a.
Do you need another drink?
Oh yeah, Miss Nicole coming around.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Nicole. Tim got one.
I'm good. Yep.
Okay.
I'm good. But you just got to on the FHA. You just refinance it if it makes sense.
Okay.
And
again, you'd be the perfect person to go to make sense. It's like, hey, should I refinance or not? And you're going to tell them, look, I can get you a better deal, or I can't get you a better deal.
Yeah, and all the time we give all the options. We don't ever assume that you don't want to save $90 a month. There is what you save. Oh, and $90 a month to some people, life changing.
Life changing.
Other people, it's not.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Well, again, if it's going to cost you $3,000 to refinance or to refinance, how long is it going to take you to recoup that over the life of the loan? And does it make sense for you?
Right.
And again, if you can pay that extra $90 a month, so your payment goes down, but you're paying an extra $90 a month towards the principal, and you run the new AM, and it makes sense. Hey, I'm going to save $50,000 over the life of this loan. You do it.
Yeah.
You absolutely do it. I mean, I'm a big believer in getting every penny out of that dollar you can. Every dollar's got to be put towards the best possible use.
Right.
And if it's not, then you're stupid.
Yeah.
Because then you're wasting money. And if you want to waste money, that's your choice. But don't tell me you can't retire one day when you wasted money today.
Well, this.
I'm a tough nut when it comes to that crap.
Throw this out there real quick. I didn't write it down, but on a refinance right now, everyone has a ton of equity in their home.
Right.
So if they're listening to this and they know someone has a ton of credit card debt, one thing we're offering, cash out refinance. People are wiping out their credit card debt using their house.
And to me, I'm going to I know you're in a different boat than I am.
Hot on me?
I look at it and say, no, I don't want to do that for my clients. Why would you risk your biggest asset to pay off a credit card?
Okay, what would you?
I tell them to tell the credit
should not
cards to
have brought this up to Carmen Dellutri.
I
didn't have it in my notes.
All right, I was at a CPA event with my wife.
What did you think, Tim?
I was at a CPA event with my wife, right? And I just happened to go into the cinema with her, and I'm sitting there. And this guy's up on stage talking. And he's like, well, if you have this, this, and this. I look at my wife and I said, this guy's a yo-yo. He don't know what he's talking about. And she's like, don't say a word. Don't say a word. Shut up. You need to leave now. Don't say a word. Don't say a word. Don't promise me. And she's looking at me like, you do this, you embarrass me, I will kill you. And I'm like, okay, I won't do it. And then he said something else. I went, excuse me. and she's
His
like,
hand shot up.
she melted. And she's like, this son of a... But she married me. What's she gonna do?
Yeah, no, she knows she's
she
gonna
knows
do.
what she got.
Let's agree to move on from this topic.
Okay,
we'll
again. Hey, I put the realtor to the test. I put the used car guy to the test. Right. I put Dr. Nick to the test. I definitely test my attorneys every day.
Thanks again for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe anywhere you listen.